don't even know what to say. So much.
Oh, hey guys. So we just got out of seeing Robin Hood. That was fucking bullshit.
Wow. Oh man.
What the hell?
I will say this. This is
God.
one of the...
Oh man.
Oh man. It's been a long time since I've seen a bad movie this fun.
It's like a fucking reflection on the building that's going right in my eyes.
Oh yeah, we'll just leave it in mine. Straight into mine. The sun is coming from this side, guys. This is literally
off like the building
of a building.
there.
But
Where do you even fucking start with this?
The beginning. Let's start with Call of Duty Medieval Warfare.
No, even before that, we both just started laughing because we know, like, oh god, here we go.
No, the opening sequence in the barn, not the barn, the stables.
Even then, it starts off with a narration by what you find out later is Friar Tuck.
Was that Tuck?
Yeah, that was Friar Tuck.
Okay, all right. Played by Tim Minchin, famous musical comedian, who I'm honestly I enjoy his work, but. I mean, he did his best.
He did what he could. I think everyone did what they could with this. Some were just chewing the fucking scenery like Jamie Foxx.
Well, the dude who plays the sheriff of Nottingham, is that Ben Mendelsohn?
I don't know his name, but he's got Rogue One.
He's the guy from Rogue One. He was also in Bloodline, the Netflix show, if you watched that. Yeah, he was good. Weirdly,
he did his best.
He did his best. He was this weirdly, like, in the middle of a movie that cannot be taken seriously on any front. He is the only person in it who seems to be actually doing a good job.
Yeah, I was actually trying.
Yeah.
I mean, he's given some of the better lines, but even then, like, the writing in this movie is fucking atrocious.
I mean, like, first, the voiceover at the beginning is bad.
Well, like, the part where we both started laughing when he starts going, like, and this ain't your normal fairy tale.
No, this isn't no bedtime story.
That was it. And then you and I just start laughing. Because like, oh, good lord, here we go.
Because he's straight up talking to the audience. He's straight up going like, this is, forget what you know about the story of Robin Hood. And first off, Robin Hood... Pretty sure he's not played by anyone with a real British accent, because oh my god.
Actually, Joel Edgerton?
Is he British?
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing with his voice?
I don't know, he's in the Kingsman movies.
Ooh. Oh no!
Yeah, that's him.
Oh!
Yeah, it's Eggy.
Oh man!
Wait, not Joel Edgerton,
no, it's the weird thing about it is that I don't know if it's just the way that they're acting, but everything just sounds really fake.
Yeah, especially when you get to Miriam, who is doing
Maid Marian,
something. I can't tell what.
Whose tits are out for the, like, for every outfit she has deep cleavage, except for, like, 2 disguises that she wears. But then you have Jamie Foxx
Taron Egerton, that's who it was. Taron Egerton plays Robin Hood.
Doing not an accent. Like, he applies an accent to, like, every 10th syllable. He's talking like he normally does. There's no... Okay, my fun with this movie is trying to apply any kind of consistent logic to it, because it is a riot. It is a riot. That movie is hilarious. Everything in that movie is hilarious except for the jokes. Every joke they try to make falls flat, and the rest of the movie is fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
It's so consistent. None of their jokes landed.
Like, it's funny, like, especially like as we kept going in the audience we were in, I felt like it got to the point we were all kind of on the same page.
No, near the beginning we were definitely like
we were definitely being assholes.
We definitely were the people in the theater laughing at parts because oh man, okay, so the beginning when they're doing the voiceover and everything, and he gets like, it shows him and Marian's romance, which literally consists of them turning each other around and pressing each other against a wall and kissing each other. Like, just the whoosh, and then cut away and cut to another shot and then whoosh, like, it's the same shit. It's the same fucking shot from different angles, like, multiple times.
And then suddenly,
he gets drafted.
Draft notice.
He gets drafted. He gets a fucking draft notice delivered to his door like a subpoena. Like a subpoena. And all the draft notices are sealed in wax. Like some official fucking secret decree being delivered, like, and he's a lord.
Yeah.
He is a lord who is drafted into the military.
But it gets better.
No, hang on.
Okay,
the draft notice. We have to cover, because, like, it's delivered to his door and he opens it and is like, hereby drafted into da-da-da-da-da. Could they read?
I assume so.
I mean, how many people can read in these times?
I mean, like, I'm not
even
gonna be
the
that
lords
nitpicky.
don't have to read. Like, no, because here's the thing: there were people wearing things that were like bright blue. Blue dye back in. There were people in the fucking mines wearing blue.
I don't know. Maybe we got Call of Duty in the very next scene, so I'm not that picky as far as like historical accuracy goes.
It's just no. It's not even accuracy. It's just a base level of effort. For me, it's not even like, because I don't even know that much about those times. Like, I don't even understand just how, how deeply intricate, like, all the different workings of society was back then, and who was allowed where, and who had what access. But what I do know is that colorful dyes were really fucking expensive and hard to make. So you don't have someone in what looks like a fucking Old Navy sweater in the middle of the fucking mines, and it looks clean. It looks clean. How is it clean?
I don't know.
And then you have Marion and okay, we'll get to that. Okay, so he gets drafted runs off to the Arabia.
Arabia. We jumped to 4 years later, and it's
4 years later.
Like, it is so.
It's like fucking Call of Duty level.
Fucking absurd.
It even has soap.
Look this up, because it's like they have Kevlar, but it's not Kevlar, because it's all like these like stapled pieces of metal together.
They're like,
but they're all wearing
jackets.
like, they look like they're in Iraq or like Afghanistan.
It's shot with the same fucking color palette. Like, it looks like a very basic standard, like someone was trying to shoot a scene from Fallujah or something. Like, it looks so modern war. Like, if you've played any of the modern warfare games from Call of Duty, it looks like that. The color palette is the same. The dialogue is the same. The action of them. Okay, they're walking around with longbows.
I might as well be watching American Sniper.
They're walking, they're walking around with fucking, like, they're walking around with bows and arrows, right? And they're walking like this.
Yeah.
Like, you would imagine a SWAT team to be walking around with fucking, like, AR-51s, like, just like.
But not only do the enemies have like armor-piercing arrows that cut through rock.
They were steel bolts. They were steel bolts. Okay. But here, okay. So first off, they're walking around with this. Turret. Do you realize how much strength it takes to cock one of those back and hold it there and hold that steady? You have these people pulling these like they're nothing. Okay, and these are not particularly buff people. They're not. They don't look like they've been trained. But then you get to the whole point where the ballista this dude has is a semi-automatic where he's just going and he has great aim apparently, because he's firing like, even though he's firing, what would you say, like six bolts a second?
Well, according to Eggy's account, yeah, there's 6 bolts per charge apparently.
Yeah, so it's seriously at the pace of dun 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 dun, and these things are blasting through fucking rock pillars.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This takes out like a good 8 to 10 people in their squadron the moment it starts firing. It's one of those scenes.
That's not even my favorite part of that scene, though.
Oh no, we'll progress through it.
Okay. Okay.
But it shows the guy up there literally pulling the thing back and forth to fire it. I'm wondering because when it shows the bolts hitting, they're hitting way faster than he could possibly be going.
Yeah.
He's like, what is he doing? But then Joel Egerton goes up.
Taron Egerton, I got it.
Taron. Oh, Taron. Okay. Oh yeah, no, Joel Egerton's the good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I like Taron Egerton.
I also like Joel Egerton. He was great in The Great Gatsby. He was great in fucking The Gift.
The Gift is amazing.
Yeah, like he's great. But okay, so let's just call him Robin. So Robin.
All right. Or Eggy.
Robin decides to, with his bow cocked, go like super military tactic. Like this was not made by a person who wanted to make a Robin Hood movie.
No, God, no.
Like this dude wanted to make a full-blown like action heist movie. Like this dude wanted to make a movie that was like there are revolutionary things thrown in there and stuff, but this is definitely a guy who wanted to make a movie about a veteran who becomes a fucking like a bank robber or something.
I'm gonna look at the director, see what else he's made.
Nothing.
He directed an episode of Black Mirror, apparently.
No.
And Peaky Blinders. He's done a lot of TV, it looks like. Actually, he's only done TV.
Who wrote this shit? Who wrote this shit? Because they are more to blame.
Let's see here.
So he goes up there, and the thing is that one of the funny moments in there is that he goes and crouches behind like some kind of parapet, like where it's like, you know, the walls are along castle edges and fort edges and stuff. So he's crouching behind there, but he has his bow up, so his head is poking up this much. His bow is poking up this much on the side. It's like, what are you doing? And the guy with the ballista keeps on fucking firing, and by the way, terrible CG.
Okay,
terrible CG.
This explains a lot. One of the writers is Ben Chandler, who's only written this movie.
Okay.
And it has one other writer, which is David James Kelly, who looks like also only wrote this movie.
Oh my god.
So we have two, like he wrote a short called Straw Man 8 years ago.
Wow.
So we have two, we basically
Wait,
have
is this
two,
considered an independent film?
it might as well,
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
know.
Wait, what's the budget on this shit?
Hold up.
Okay, we'll get to that, but you look that up. But
All right,
so this dude waits until the guy stops firing for a couple of seconds, and yes, he's reloading. But how do you know? How do you know he's reloading? He pops out and literally...
Well, he counts it. He knows how many are in there.
He's been counting the bolts being fired since the moment they got surprised by the ambush. Of them
Apparently, because he starts counting them. That's how.
So he comes out and does the whole 180 and immediate release and nails the guy.
Yeah, this movie had a $90 million budget.
Oh, there are people starving in the streets, Michael. Which is ironic considering the subject matter of this movie. But, so, yeah, that happens. And then, just to let you know, this is the first movie I took some notes on. I eventually gave up. But there was a point with this where I was like, wow, I need to write some of this down.
Let's hear
Okay,
this.
semi-automatic, 180 no scope, walking with bows cocked military squads. Oh yeah, so he has a fight with Jamie Foxx. They go into the streets. There's someone being hung there as bait, and they're being flanked by a shitload of fucking Arabs with their own bows and arrows. There's some dude who has some kind of similar ballista device where it shoots like 4 bolts at once.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. My favorite part is the arrow bazooka.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's an arrow bazooka, and it's kind of great because he holds it like one.
Oh yeah, and at least like 3 of those 4 arrows find home in one of the soldiers. Like, how does aim? Like, what is this? Okay. So he has a fight with Jamie Foxx, and he gets saved at the last moment because Jamie Foxx bests him, and some dude comes in and cuts Jamie Foxx's hand off.
You know, I'm just gonna do this because this is the first review where you don't have something to drink, so I'm gonna drink something.
Wait, no, let me have
it's
that.
mine.
No, it's my tradition.
My water.
Share the water.
I'm thirsty. Oh, you dick. Okay, no, look what you did. Give my cat back.
So
Oh, there's no backwash.
well. So Jamie Foxx gets his hand cut off and is then put into handcuffs.
Yeah, that was so bizarre to me. Like, I'm just sitting there. You see him in the shackles, and I'm just kind of thinking, like,
It's like how?
like, can you just like? Oh, look at that!
Oh wait. But
What a shock!
But then, like, apparently, like, they're just executing Arabs that they have prisoner, and Robin Hood has a problem because they're unarmed. They're prisoners of war. Whatever.
Yeah, because Robin has a movie talking about POWs.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, he has PTSD later. But then you have this scene where Jamie Foxx's son is about to be executed in front of him, and Robin, like, tries to stop it. And the way he tries to stop it is that when the gigantic axe is mid-swing, Robin just puts his sword up. Like, the physics of this movie are absurd. Like, he just goes,
Yeah, it is.
chink! And, like, if you try to do that, you would just get your sword knocked out of the way as the axe continues going down. But then he decides he's gonna free the Arabs, I guess? So he just chops the chain, which also, it gets chopped through easier than rope would be chopped through. Because rope would take like a couple of hacks unless you've got a really strong sword and the rope is tight. The chains weren't tight. He just goes, dink, and it's gone. Like, oh my God. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, you were. There was barely a moment in this movie where you were not laughing at something.
Oh, people near me got kind of upset, I think.
Yeah, there could be like a little pissed. The guy next to me, he looked like he was pissed, but sometimes he did not give a shit. So.
Yeah. He was like, I can't even blame him. I was
and the guy behind us, you kind of like develop a kindred spirit with.
Oh no, hang on, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because I remember the moment where he spoke up, and I'll mention it.
Oh,
but okay, so he gets shot close range in the gut. Like, in the exact spot where it's supposedly the most painful to get shot and also one of the most difficult places to, like, save someone from being shot. He's shot close range by an arrow.
Really?
By his own commander.
I thought he got shot close to his stomach, he at least had to bleed out.
No, because if you hit like certain areas in there, basically like certain stuff leaks out, like stomach acid, you can end sepsis. But it's also really painful. But he gets shot there, and then they pull the arrow out, and he passes out in 2 seconds, I guess, from the pain or something.
Like that.
Okay, so he wakes up, and he's being sent back home.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess.
How does it go from him being treasonous and turning on his troops to him just being released back into society with no consequence? Is he just sent back with no problem?
I don't know, by this point I was already kind of checked out.
I don't know. This was the point where I started writing stuff down and I stopped looking. They took away his manor because they thought he was dead. He was reported dead or something.
And then it comes back into fucking the sheriff's office, like, it's Wayne Enterprises, sir. I'm sure.
Oh no, that's a little later. Come on, we gotta go through this beat by beat.
All right.
So he gets back. His house is in ruins. He goes to find Maid Marian. He goes to the mining section of the town. Everyone is fucking filthy and covered in grime, except for Maid Marian, who's standing there handing out soup or something. In this gorgeous getup, with her titties hanging out.
Of course, as you do. That's how she got soup service.
Of course, it's soup and tits. Come on down. It's supers.
So Harvey Dent and Rachel are there.
Yeah, and they start making they kiss. Will is like Will is this dude who's trying to be helpful to the people and like try to get political standing.
My God, he really was just Harvey Dent, wasn't he?
He was. He really was.
The more I think about it, because he was a politician.
They even have the conversation about the validity of Robin Hood's actions.
Yeah.
They have the whole thing where they meet and they're like, well, I don't know if he's really good for the people. He's like, I don't know. I think he might be. Like, he's only getting started. Like, it's...
Was that the one part where I went to go up use the bathroom?
Maybe? They do have a moment where they have, like, something very similar to the dinner scene in The Dark Knight.
No, I 100% believe it, because there's a few moments like, oh man, you're not even trying.
This is trying so hard to be a Christopher Nolan movie. It's scary. It's sad, really. Okay, so he sees them kiss, and then he runs off and pukes.
Yeah.
He's so upset he vomits.
Well, not really, because it's a PG-13, so...
Of course, so he just goes, off into a pile somewhere.
It's like, oh, my hand's cut off, but I guess there's no blood going to it anyway, so he probably did me a favor.
What?
You know when Jamie Foxx has his hands cut off? There's not a drop of blood
comes out of that shit. But so then Jamie Foxx shows up again, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" That's my fucking question. How the fuck did Jamie Foxx get to like Nottingham? How did Jamie Foxx, an Arabic dude, supposedly? Don't even try.
He stowed away in the below deck.
Sure, he stowed away. He stowed away below deck in the ship.
They actually did show that.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah. So he stowed away on the ship back. I guess to overthrow the government on his own, so that he can stop the war going on his country. Because God knows Nottingham is the source of the Crusades.
Of
That's
course.
why this is going on. This
Dude,
is how we
didn't
stop
you
it.
know that about history? It's a well-known fact.
I mean, clearly, this is educating me so much on historical facts.
I didn't know they had air bazookas back in the day, but movies opened my eyes in
There
ways
you
I never
go.
could have known.
There you go.
I didn't know you
but
could
then-
puke and then actually have nothing come out. That's also...
Yeah, of course. That's called acting. So then they talk, and the line comes out where I gave up on the writing on this movie at this moment where he said, "Everyone thinks I'm dead, so this must be hell."
Oh, yeah, forgot about that line. The part where I gave up on the writing came in the scene after.
Whoa, which part?
When Rogue One bad guy makes his big grand
Oh,
speech.
yes! Okay, so they cut to the sheriff of Nottingham making a speech to his people. I don't even know if I'd call it thinly veiled. It's not even trying to veil the fact that this is a speech that is going like, there are brown people trying to, like, kill us because they hate our freedom. He says they hate our freedom.
Nope, I remember.
And this is when the dude behind us goes, "Oh, give me a break."
And we turn and look over at him, and we're like, right?
I look at him and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. So
And at that point, we're like, you guys are both just talking mad shit this whole sequence.
because he was a lot more shameless than I was.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
a lot
he
more
was.
vocal, so I figured as long as I keep it under his level, if he gets kicked out first, we'll be fine, and I'll just tone it down at that point.
Well,
but he
until
did
he
not.
left.
He left.
There was some point later.
It took him a while, though.
I think it was like when the like explosions came out of no, it was the lava scene.
It was the molten steel causing the giant explosion as they ride away with the
Slow
flames bellowing behind him, and he just yells, "Rubbish!"
Rubbish is like, all right,
They
that's
didn't
it.
have
I'm
that back
done.
then. He's like, "I'm fucking done."
Like, I'm
And he gets
done.
up and he leaves.
He looks over at us because that's where you kind of felt like a kindred
like,
friendship.
"See ya, man."
Like, see ya, dude.
I
like how like we get it, man.
Stuck it out best you could. Okay, so
And the guys as people were leaving, the
Yeah.
guys were like, dude, I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard.
so there are just times. Okay, so from here it goes to the point where he's building his reputation. This is where the plot enters, like just the slow escalation without a lot of in between. So you have Robin reveal himself as being back, and this is very much the whole Bruce Wayne thing.
Yeah.
Where he's masquerading as the Lord again, and somehow no one questions where he's getting all of his money back from, because he has
he's
money
the
to
Lord,
throw
yeah.
around like crazy. He has a Lord. He thought he would, like, everything was taken from him. Everyone thought he was dead. All his money's been gone for ages, but he gets back and he just has money again, and people are just like, oh, that's fine. We'll just ignore the fact that he came back, and now suddenly this thief showed up who's just taking out everything. By the way, they hang out with the same very distinctive black dude with one hand and scars on his face. Like, John literally is in public with Robin of Locksley. In very visible, like in church when everyone's looking at him after he dumps a bunch of coins on the pan. Like, he is in public with this guy, very visible. And then later is doing robberies with this guy and providing the getaway vehicles. Still no mask! Still no mask!
I remember.
Not even trying! What?
I was there. I remember.
Oh! Oh yeah, and can we mention, his name?
What? Oh God.
His name.
I'm gonna let you do the talking on that one.
I'm not even. I don't even remember the name that he said.
But
because
apparently,
I am gonna say that it sounds like some white person gibberish that someone made up. I could be wrong.
well, given the writers for this,
But I feel safe hedging my bets with, yeah, that was some bullshit fake Arabic, like,
yeah, they made up.
and he said, and they actually have, the first point in the movie where I didn't laugh was when they did the joke where he says his name and Robin is trying to pronounce it, and he's just like, let me just make it easy for you. I'll translate it into your language. You may call me John.
Yep, that happens.
It doesn't sound anything like John.
Nope.
And trust me,
I think there's a
when
J in
it
there
comes
somewhere.
to, yeah, like in the middle, when it comes to translating names, it doesn't work that way. Like, maybe Ali becomes Ali. Like, it's just pronounced differently. There's no translating names. Like, you don't fucking Lupita Nyong'o doesn't fucking translate her name into like Lacey. Like, it's fucking say my name. I'll shorten it maybe, but it wasn't even close. And as someone who's dealt with people mangling his last name in every single fucking class he's attended since he was a kid, like, it wasn't even funny. It was just like, this is not humorous. This is just like, yes, white people can't pronounce names in other languages.
You know, I just gotta say, as someone who's been been the one doing all the ranting, and ever since they're quiet, this is a nice change of pace.
All right, there you go. So anyway, so they wander around together, whether Robin's in disguise or not. John is not in disguise. They have the training montage, which is terrible.
Have a montage, and I just saw Creed 2 yesterday. Which then they had a way better training montage.
Of course. But okay, so they had the training montage where Robin, like, it's like a video game. It's straight up like a video game. They have this training course that they've made by like pulling chains and shit, and it feels like those training courses you have in like some SWAT video game or some military video game where you're running through the course and like, now go around the corner, 2 more people pop up, pa pa, like,
yeah.
And it feels like Jamie Foxx upgrades Robin's abilities just by telling him how to like hold his bow better, and all of a sudden he's able to hit his targets better. And
now, give credit where credit's due on this scene.
Never mind the fact that in the battle sequence beforehand, this dude was doing fucking twirling flips off of platforms and reloading and shooting perfect shots from his arrow mid-flight in the heat of battle. And he's standing on a training course concentrating.
I mean, I will give this to Taron Egerton. Apparently, he did learn really quickly how to be a really good archer, apparently. So, apparently he could make a lot of those shots. So
maybe he should have just fucking talked to... Wait, you're saying they were CG?
Oh, well, no, CG comes later.
Whoa! Wait! Training sequence. But yeah, so let's
what if you
see.
actually did just kill Little John?
Oh, man.
You know what this reminds me of Wanted. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I actually thought the same thing at one point. I was like...
Curved the bullet. Oh my god, if this did not go horribly, if this did not go exactly the way they wanted it to, this would have ended horribly.
There's literally a point where Little John tells him to shoot him with the bow and arrow. And I don't know what the purpose of this is, other than for Little John to show off that he can dodge arrows. Because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He just dodges the arrows. And I don't know what holding the bow and arrow does to change the velocity of the arrows that you're shooting.
I guess, like, try the other side. That makes it go faster.
Yeah, he's like, you can reload faster. Also, he's struggling with the quiver when he's walking along, like he's having trouble with the motion when he is military trained. You just saw him be like the best dude on his squad for a good that was a good 20-minute sequence. It was wow.
It felt like 20 minutes at the very least.
Oh Jesus. So the training montage happens. He goes out. He starts schmoozing around the rich people.
Including like there's a casino scene.
Yeah, no, I was about to get to that. Yeah. There is a casino scene where it is very much like people in there are dressed like the medieval version of the Hunger Games.
My first thought was like, well, somebody that dressed up like a bat clearly has issues.
Oh my god.
Because that line of dialogue is practically in the movie.
Yeah, no, there is a conversation around the craps table or whatever about how, you know, oh, he probably wears that mask because he's so ugly. It's actually me, but I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm covering. But oh my god, it's overwhelming how bad this movie is.
Man, I didn't know
every line.
Medieval poker looked exactly the same as regular.
Yeah, no, it looks like a fucking casino. It looks like a straight up casino. There are people like there's God, the music in this movie is so stock fucking bad. Like it's there are loops that you will recognize if you pay any attention. And that's like, this is shit I have problem with. This is one of the reasons I can't enjoy the first Thor movie,
Okay, fair enough.
Because the first Thor movie uses a lot of fucking stock loops and shit for its score. It's awful.
I like the first Thor, but yeah, I get what you're
No,
saying.
I'm saying it's a decent movie, but it's distracting. If you know anything, if you pay attention to film scores and shit, like, you will notice, oh, this is the same loop I've heard in fucking bajillions of trailers and dozens of fucking movies. Like, it's so basic.
Fair enough.
They didn't even fucking try. It's so annoying. As someone who owns the music products that these loops come from, like, I could probably show you exactly what they used.
Yeah.
It's bad. So there's the casino sequence. Friar Tuck and Maid Marian are trying to scheme to figure out who exactly is in charge of making all this stuff happen. I kind of lost track of why they thought that there was someone in like the sheriff was doing something, but apparently.
I mean, I'll give the movie this much. It's not as incomprehensible as Fantastic Beasts 2.
The sheriff and the cardinal are apparently taking money from the poor to bankroll the Arabs
That's what I got out of it.
in a war with themselves to fuel what it feels like an indictment of the military-industrial complex. But the poor people are the military-industrial complex. They're the ones working the mines and the forges, and then they just send out a bunch of people to take all their shit and burn down the mines and the forges?
We would later call it trickle-down economics.
Like, I don't understand. I don't get what's happening. But, like, oh yeah, and they have this sequence where, I think you were at the bathroom for this moment, but Maid Marian sneaks off and goes into a record room and, like, is looking through sheets and stuff, and they have that sequence where there's a guard walking up to the door that she's behind, and he comes up, and it shows her in there, and it cuts to her right behind there shuffling through papers and stuff, and it cuts back to the guard putting their hand on the door, and then they open the door, and she's gone.
So she's a clairvoyant.
But that's the thing. It's not even that. It's the fact that it didn't even show her, like, sneakily getting away or slipping away through a window or, like, being in the other side of the room and slipping away behind the guard. Or there was no logic behind, oh, hey, she escaped. It was just like, he opens the door and she's gone. This is the level of effort this movie puts into anything. It's amazing.
Good God.
Oh, the treasury battle where Robin goes in there and takes down... There's a cart being pulled by, like, 2 horses, but apparently all it takes is one big fat guy to pull it once it's into the treasury.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like,
I think it's like, didn't we serve a drug by 2 horses? Someone's like, nah, we don't need horses, we have Jerry. Jerry the cart puller. He has one calling in life.
And oh man. Oh yeah. This was another part where he walks in there and he gets discovered. He's carted in there under the cart. He gets seen because some dude drops his shit, which is a scene that's never been done in any movie. And then he gets out from under the cart. He hides behind the pillar. And it suddenly goes into, like, super
Matrix.
slow motion. Yeah, it's the Matrix fucking hallway shootout. Where there's
arrows and they're chipping away from rock
dust
columns.
going everywhere in every direction, and it's slow motion, and he's breathing and looking straight at the camera as he goes around this pillar. But what interests me about it is that these CG, the CG bolts they decided to use in this scene were the exact same CG bolts that were being fired from the ballistas earlier.
Yeah.
So apparently the crossbows and the ballistas fire the same bolts, which I guess makes kind of sense if you just think of it as them being crossbow bolts. But the crossbow bolts are firing... There's one that goes through the pillar.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that these soldiers, like, they're 2 soldiers firing at him with crossbows. I don't know how fast they're reloading these fucking things, but they're being shot at a staggering pace, and a bolt goes through a stone pillar. Are you telling me this dude's handheld crossbow that he has to cock and fire how many times a second in slow motion has the same force as the automatic ballista?
I'm not gonna lie, this is the part where I checked out pretty hard.
It was so bad.
Like you can see it to transition from like what is to like especially the beginning of the Call of Duty. I think I just had this like my face the entire time.
Yeah, no, I looked at you and you had a look on your face of sheer
like
befuddlement,
what the
like
fuck is happening?
Stunned. You were stunned.
Yeah.
But then there's one shot in there in particular that I was like, what the fuck? Where he jumps out of a hallway, fires into a guy in front of him, and somehow realizes there's a guy behind him, and pulls another arrow and reloads his bow and turns and shoots the guy behind him before he hits the ground. I can't click my heels twice before I hit the ground. Like, I mean, I'm not the smallest guy. I probably can't jump the highest, but if I have trouble like jumping and doing ba before I land, I'm sure this.
That?
Huh?
How many times have you tried that?
I tried it when I was a kid too.
I was gonna say that was a very specific example.
Well, because like I saw it in all those like some dude would jump up and be like click click.
Oh, I used to try that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? I'm sorry.
It's okay, buddy.
It's okay. Yeah. But so this happened, and I don't know. He gets shot in the leg.
You remember this movie way more than I do. I'm already forgetting everything that happened.
Pulls out the arrow and hobbles off, and then Little John has laid a line of like some kind of flammable oil. And the thing about this oil, I don't know if you've ever lit like lighter fluid, just like not on a fire. Nah. If you've ever just like laid some down and tried to light it, the flame goes like this high.
No, not this one.
If you light some oil, the flame goes like this high maybe. Like, you need some serious sources of flames for this to work. Little John literally has like a flask that he draws a line of oil with. And then he waits for Robin to jump out of a window, which I guess was the window they decided that he would jump out of. How they knew the layout of this place from where he would be carted in and pulled up, and how he would get to this window up there to make his escape, I don't know.
Well, he read the script.
Yeah, okay. So he jumps out the window.
Going on Men in Tights rules, you know?
He jumps out the window, he runs along the top of this structure where, like, you get the first-person shot of someone shooting him with the bow, with the crossbow. You have people shooting at him with crossbows from the window. Nobody hits this guy. Nobody hits any of the civilians that are in the background either. It's basically Stormtrooper logic. And then Robin jumps, what, fucking 30 feet?
Something like that.
30 feet down onto the back of this tiny cart, which is barely bigger than he is, onto his injured leg. And they go and they make their escape, and Little John, not wearing a mask again, lights the fucking fire when they go, and it is a wall of flame. It's a wall of flame.
Man, you gave this way more thought than I did.
Every scene didn't make sense, Michael. Nothing made sense. Everything defied the laws of physics and logic and conversation. Like, nothing worked.
Now I know what I sound like when I rant about Wrinkle in Time.
Oh my god. The giant Oprah face just...
Yes, you may, child. You may touch my cheek. That was me on the theater going, just call him Charles! Why are you saying his full name? Or Charlie! He's a kid! It still bugs me.
Clearly. Oh god. Okay, so they make their escape. They freaked out the Cardinal. This is when he plans the huge attack on the mines themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
And this turns into one of the most bullshit Assassin's Creed action sequences I have ever seen.
Mixed out with a little bit of like Van Helsing and Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh my god.
Remember either of those movies?
Oh, I didn't watch either of them.
Oh man, Van Helsing was a pure guilty pleasure of mine as a kid.
I might be down to watch it. It looks bad. It always looked bad enough to be fun.
Oh, it was always really funny to me. That one had the guy who played Basil Exposition from Austin Powers playing Dracula.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even remember who Basil Exposition was.
He was the guy with the gray hair that always introduced Austin Powers in missions.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Like, Austin, that's my mother, that guy.
Oh, God.
He
Well-
plays Draken. It's amazing.
Okay, so they said, oh yeah, and they bring back the squad that Robin was with in the war to track him down.
They don't really do much.
They don't do much at all. But Soap is the main antagonist. I'm just gonna call him Soap.
He might as well. He's like the same voice. He's got the same fucking haircut.
He's got the same mutton chops.
Wait, not Soap. But that Soap wasn't that guy. It was the commander.
No, Soap was his fucking in Call of Duty. Soap was the leader of his squad. He's the guy who like trained.
No, I
you
thought
and-
Soap was the character you played.
No, wait.
I'll look it up. You keep talking.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. Yeah, you're Soap. Who's is the fucking who's the commander?
I'll look
The
it
dude,
up.
Mr. Mustache. Like,
Mr. For now, we'll call him Mr. Mustache.
the dude who was in the original trailer when on the helicopter for Modern Warfare. But yeah, so anyway, they have a few standoffs and they don't like each other very much, sure. And the sequence goes on where the sheriff gets pissed off and sends his troops into the slums to burn them down and take all their shit. And
John Price.
Oh yeah, Price. There we go. Yeah, this dude is Price from Call of Duty. He's he has the same fucking mustache.
He really does.
It's
like,
amazing.
It's eerie. It's almost like they want like. To me, this started out as like a Modern Warfare adaptation.
It feels like it, man.
Like, honestly, it would make a lot of sense if it was.
Oh god.
You just looked it up, didn't you?
No, I'm trying to look it up, but when I type Robin Hood characters, the first thing that pops up is Little John from the Disney cartoon, the bear. I'm like, hey, it's Jamie Foxx.
I'd rather be watching that version.
Oh yeah, no, childhood favorite, man, childhood favorite. But oh my god, so many. But yeah, so anyway. So they send him into the slums, and what happens is one of the most fucking crazy, over-embellished, like, action sequences where Maid Marian, like, knocks the shit out of two guards that are a good head taller than her, and then goes up, and she either pushes or punches the dude who's in charge of the squad.
Oh yeah, I was so not paying attention during that scene.
It's like, are you a real man? Or makes some kind of comment on his manliness, and he just fucking punches her in the face. Which, you know, it's generally, I don't find a woman being punched in the face funny, but just the fact that was the setup, like, what kind of man are you?
I mean,
Shut up.
It's
Like,
no
just-
Nicolas Cage in a bear suit. You say that much for sure.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But, I like how Friar Tuck is on the posters, but not that guy. But yeah, so that's a thing that happened.
Oh god. We're so dumb. And that sequence ends with
The two like Ben-Hur, just fucking two horse carriage races.
yeah.
Maid Marian is trapped on one of them. Robin Hood jumps onto it to save her. They bust open the box. She recognizes him, and he's like, "How'd you know it was me?" And she's like, "You call that a disguise? It fooled everyone else." And then she says, "How couldn't you tell me? Because women, right?"
I know. That's, you know what that reminded me of?
Oh,
and
God.
there's no good reason to remind me of this. It reminded me of Green Lantern when they made that same fucking joke.
I didn't see Green Lantern.
That movie sucked. But the one thing I remember from that movie was when Blake Lively looks over at Ryan Reynolds and he goes, just basically goes, how? It's like, how'd you know it was me? You think I wouldn't recognize if you hid your cheekbones?
Oh man.
And I was like, I feel like jokes like that are like the signs of a bad movie, apparently.
Oh, it's so...
Because it's like a shortcut to self-awareness that doesn't exist.
Oh god. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. No. Previous reports have compared this story to the Dark Knight trilogy. They're literally trying to make this the Batman Begins of Robin Hood.
Oh, you can fucking tell.
Oh,
right down
God.
the line, like part where Marion basically has. like the part where basically just has it's not who you are underneath, it's what you do, the defined you speech.
The screenwriter is also working on another origin story, Warner Brothers' King Arthur Legend of the Sword, the first of a proposed 7-movie franchise!
Dude, that came out last year.
That will follow the legend of King Arthur played by Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, that came out last year.
Did it fail hard enough for it not to happen?
It was also hilarious.
Oh, God.
That one was great.
We should do a back-to-back of these two movies. Like, just do a...
If you get laughed at this one, you laugh hard at King Arthur, because, man, I saw it with Matt, and we laughed our fucking asses off.
Oh, this was originally called Robin Hood Origins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not even fucking trying.
This was really supposed to come out March 23rd. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot to digest here. But anyway.
But that one had a case where once Charlie Henning got the sword of Excalibur and he learned how to use it, he not only was a really good swordsman, he got fucking superpowers. Like slow motion, flash speed as he's cutting through all these bad guys.
See, I would even buy that.
While
Excalibur is supposed to be a magical sword,
while
right?
the music's going...
Yeah, like dubstep?
Yeah, kind of. And then Eric Bana has a sword in the beginning of the movie. He goes and jumps on top of a gigantic 20-story elephant.
Okay, I might have to see this. If it's as bad as this, I want to do a double feature with these two movies.
You like King Arthur.
We should do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
We should do like a face cam of us and a couple of friends watching this movie.
It's one of those things I've definitely been wanting to do for a long time. Just having free time is so fucking...
I know. Let's just schedule it as a Saturday thing and get more people, like a couple more people than we think.
I mean, it's just so hard to schedule on a Saturday when I work Saturdays. That's the problem.
Sunday thing.
Like I work every day of the damn week.
Oh, well then that's your problem.
I know. Like, I'm trying to work out the problem. It's
make
just
it happen,
fucking hard,
bro.
man.
Make it happen. I'm in.
It's like if we said maybe once a month on a weeknight or something, I could make it work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, to do a double feature on a weeknight would be tricky.
True.
We'd have to at least try for Friday night.
Like something like that. Like 2 days a week. Like
okay.
2 days a month. Meet together and like watch like 1 or 2 movies.
Okay, but hang on. We have to get to the point where this movie lost the poor guy behind us. So we have, first off, the CG in this movie.
So bad.
The green screen in this movie. Like, you have Prince John supposedly driving this carriage. Not Prince John. Lil Jon driving this carriage. And it has, like, the whole camera shakiness. Mm-hmm. But they clearly just took, like, some gray background that is whooshing by so fast it's just a blur. And then just put Jamie Foxx's face over it. And then just... like, there's no... The camera does not have any consistency. It's such an astonishingly bad shaky cam fake. Like, and they do it with multiple characters. Then they have Robin Hood, like, running away from Price on the tops of the fortress wall things.
Yeah.
And they're on horseback and
they're like riding horse on top of like walkways and shit. Like like it's fucking Prince of Persia 3.
and they shoot Robin Hood's horse in the ass.
I guess you could say they didn't give a horse his ass. Haha.
I give up. but as he's falling off of his horse, he jumps off, and was it his bow that he used to hang on?
Yeah, I think so.
So I guess he didn't expect to be thrown off of his horse, but he had enough wherewithal in the moment to take his bow out, hang it over a rope that he was about to fall past, grab on with both hands, and I don't know where the string on this bow is in this scenario.
Yeah.
But grabs on with both hands and, like, glides along. I don't know how long this rope is or what the tension of this rope was supposed to be to just, like, easily carry his weight all the way down. But he goes at the correct speed to be aligned with the top of Lil Jon and Marion fucking getting away on the carriage. And then he drops down and he's like, oh, hey, we're getting away. Oh, that was crazy. Like, Oh, I missed it. No, the part where him,
Oh yeah, the part where he
him
lost
and Price
the guy
are
behind
riding
you said,
along.
"Done."
They're riding along, and as they're going, there's things being collapsed and hit. There's one horse who gets taken down by like a wooden crate that gets thrown its way. But then the couple of horses like drawing the carriage bust through like some scaffolding, like an actual, except it's not scaffolding. It's full fucking like.
Yeah.
It's columns of wood. Like it's an actual structure, and they just bust through that with no problem. And then eventually it gets to the point where something collapsing. It's this giant fucking cauldron. They don't have molten steel like this back then. They don't have the means to power flames to melt steel in this volume or to work it at this size. They have blacksmithing. But in this movie, they have these giant fucking cauldrons like they're in a fucking foundry. And this one thing gets knocked over as they're running away. And there's this, it collapses, and there's a slow motion shot facing them as they're coming towards the camera. And behind them, there's a giant explosion of flame as this huge pot of molten lava just flows after them. And behind us, this dude is just like, rubbish. I'm done. And he gets up and he just fucking bounces. Like,
I wanted to give him my card as he was leaving. He took off too fast.
I wanted to talk to him.
I know, me too.
I was hoping I would get to talk to him after the movie because, wow, we were on the same page.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have gone to another movie with him sometime.
I know, right?
I don't know. I want to get him on a review. It'd be a good
That
time.
would be great.
But yeah, so we lost that guy, and the whole getaway sequence happens, and then they go, and then they stage. Oh yeah, they stage the speech where Will is so upset that they've lost everything, and there are these people the people who work the mines and everything, all the peasants. They start talking about how they need to fight back, and Will says we need to run, like we don't have anything to fight with. What, shovels and pickaxes. And Robin Hood shows up and takes off his mask, says, I am Iron Man. And then Maid Marian fucking gets turned on or something. And turns against her boyfriend. And everyone rallies behind Robin Hood. And then Robin and Will have to shake on it, because even though Will just lost everything and he's not into this, Robin says, we can't do it without you, because, you know, they rally behind you, even though they're clearly rallying behind Robin at this point. And Will is just like, fine, and shakes his hand, and everyone cheers.
Well, the part that made me laugh at was the part like when they start rallying behind Robin Hood. It's like it cuts like a balcony shot. And one guy's like, "Oh, I'm with him," and
yeah,
and
there's one dude who goes,
and I
"I'm
leaned
with
over
him."
at you, and I was like, "You mess with Spidey, you mess with New York, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us."
Yep.
That's the only thing I could think of that entire time.
Oh man,
if Will is the Green Goblin.
Oh man. Oh yeah. And during the whole escape sequence, Jamie Foxx is captured, and Maid Marian and Robin Hood doubts himself because he's like, I can't do it without him. He's the one who talked me into all of this. Even though Robin Hood has been doing like 90% of the work.
Yep. And then
they have a conversation.
Yep.
About the meaning of the mask.
Yep. and it's the fucking speech from Batman Begins.
It's pretty original.
I mean, they're not even fucking trying not to rip off Batman Begins with this.
No, they don't even, not even a little
like,
bit.
Between the cinematography and the writing and the story structure and the music.
Costuming. Oh! Let's talk about the costuming!
Go for it.
Oh my god! Aside from the blue shit that I was talking about earlier, the Sheriff of Nottingham is dressed in like $5,000 coats from fucking Fifth Avenue. Like, this shit is so impeccably tailored. Like, it is the cleanest colored leather. It is gorgeous fucking outfits. And the shirts even look like they've been bought from fucking Macy's at least. They are patterned and knit by machine. There's no fucking effort to make, like, because I guess it's like he has the nicest stuff. But where does it come from? It doesn't look like medieval gear. But even Robin Hood has a jacket that looks like Green Arrow's jacket. It's got the same quilted pattern shit. Yep. And it's clearly like just a really nice fucking jacket from modern times. There's no fucking excuse. Even Prince John, not Prince, fucking Lil Jon is wearing a fucking like cloak that seems really nice. He's wearing like a cloak that seems like someone took something really nice and tried to make it seem like it was for someone poor, but failed horribly. And then in other scenes, he's wearing shirts that have holes in them.
Yeah, like it's kind of like I feel like I gotta spot this jacket on Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, right. It's like he's a fucking duster. Like, oh man, the clothing in this movie makes no fucking sense, especially in the casino scene.
Yeah,
there's no way those people would have had those clothes. It doesn't fucking work.
Wow, we've been talking so long, it's actually getting dark.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, hey. Try new lights. Yeah.
Hey!
Production value. Well, this one needs new batteries.
Oh, well. So
no lights for me.
So,
hold on, I got a whole thing of batteries here. You keep talking.
All right, there we go. So... that aside, I wish that I kept notes on specific outfits throughout the movie, aside from Maid Marian's, titty dresses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she's throughout the movie. I may have mentioned this before because we've been talking about so much, but she is clean.
Yeah, she's never dirty.
She is never dirty.
Scene.
She doesn't have a single speck of dust on her. She always has the perfect eye makeup and lipstick. Like, the only thing that changes when she goes to the casino scene is that she's got, like, darker lipstick, but she's clearly got makeup in every scene she's in.
Yeah. Even
the scene where she's fucking been locked in a box and escaping through flame and fire and dust and explosions and, like, first-person combat, she's been punched in the face!
Yeah.
By a man a full head taller than her. And still, she's just like, she's gorgeous.
God forbid our female like lead question mark.
She's the only woman in the movie.
No, hold on. There's that one Asian lady that's in the church scene.
Yeah, sure. Like in the background. Like there are other women. There's the one lady who helps during the she tells Will that they need to fight. There are bit characters in the background, but Marion is the only fucking woman of note in this movie, which I guess goes kind of in line with the original story.
Yeah.
But I miss her handmaiden from the cartoon. The hand,
Yeah. Or even like Men in Tights.
Oh God, just, yeah.
Before you do it, you must go through it. Or else I blew it.
Oh God. So yeah, that aside, they have the whole uprising scene, and then they have the battle prep scene where they're making Molotovs.
Yep.
Like they're just filling little glass bottles with oil, and then like, I don't know how readily available glass was back then.
And Friar Tuck is making these like he's fucking Saruman.
Yeah, like they. Oh yeah, and when when fucking Lil Jon way back in the beginning of the movie gets his hand cut off, and they just have his hand wrapped in rag for a while.
Yeah.
They don't even try to make it look like this arm is shorter than this arm. It's just his fist that's covered in blue stuff. Like, there's no question. And then he goes and just shoves his hand into like a metal cylinder.
Yeah, and that's his arm now.
That's his arm. I guess so he can punch things harder? He doesn't even attempt to mold like some kind of hook or hand or
I guess it's like Army of Darkness logic, where you just make a robot hand for yourself.
No, but the Army of Darkness, at least he had the idea to like latch other stuff onto it. He made it attachable to things. With this, he just fucking made like a metal stump that he could punch things harder with.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna go one way,
sure, why not? But the way he does it too is he has it hot and just shoves his hand into the fucking his stump into the fucking like the molten hot. And now I've got this.
can't wait for Aquaman. Okay.
Oh man, and then but yeah, battle sequence happens where for some reason I'm reminded of Final Fantasy
How so?
by some of the structures, like that.
Okay, yeah, I can see
like
that.
the castle itself has metal walls on one point. Like the fucking the sheriff is on a carriage and it's going past these steel walls that are clearly like metal panels that have been riveted in place.
Yeah. I don't.
How do you rivet?
I don't see your logical fallacy in this, sir. I just see this totally legit. For the
It
time
doesn't
zone.
work. And they put the wall of flames behind him, much like they did before, because they have the.
So I just gotta say, I just gotta
Jason
point this out.
Mantzoukas.
When you're yelling, you sound exactly like Jason Mantzoukas.
It happens, yeah. That's okay though. I love that guy. But he.
The beer does not help either.
Oh man, he. Oh my God, he. First off, I will not stop taking umbrance with the fact that there are flames that just go forever off of a single little line of oil.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. First off. Second off, I do not buy the fact that later there's a line of soldiers
you can make a door from fire.
that guides him. Like the sheriff is walking through this battlefield and gets to the edge of it, and the soldiers walking in front of him part the flames with their shields.
Yeah,
Now,
firefighters doing their job all wrong.
Like, I don't know if there was supposed to be some kind of logistical thing that I missed as to how these fires were there or how they were structured, but they were able to literally just take their steel riot shields and, oh yeah, this shit was made to look like a fucking modern riot. Like, it was made to look like some kind of fucking...
pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's shameless. It is shameless. It's not even trying to hide it or make it look realistic in a medieval sense. It just looks like a modern riot. And people fucking running and doing like full-on flying kicks into the shields. But in the meantime, while this is happening, underneath the passage that they are on with these carts, and the sheriff is taking all of his gold in, they're pulling a Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah.
Where they're just gonna burn out under the carriage. They're gonna make sure it stops exactly where they've been building. How do they make sure of that?
They read the script.
Fuck you.
That's all I got, man.
But
you were giving us so much more thought than I did.
It drops down, and there's some dude who goes up and he fills the lock with some oil or whatever, and Robin Hood shoots a flaming arrow into it, and it explodes the panel.
And then Marion goes, "Was it supposed to do that?" Or was it supposed to do that? Because apparently it's an American accent.
No. It was. Oh yeah, Marion's accent is like Irish.
American
fifth or so syllable. It's better than Jamie Foxx's, but not by much.
Jamie Foxx is just chewing the fucking scenery. He knows what movie he's in.
He doesn't give a fuck.
No.
Oh yeah, and just like this goes. I forgot to mention the scene, the moment in the getaway scene where someone shoots like I guess it. I don't know what they had back then that was explosive enough, but it seems like they just took like an M80 and just like lit it on fire and shot it towards Robin Hood and the carriage, and it goes off under the end of the carriage and blows it into the air like some fucking action movie. But yeah, so they blow it open, they get the gold, they steal all the gold. The point is the gold. They're stealing the gold from the rich people. And I should mention another thing. Throughout this movie, physics-wise, the gold. When Robin Hood picks up a bag of gold, it's like it's filled with plastic coins, or chocolate coins at most. Like,
I would steal some chocolate coins.
Yeah, right? But like, when they pick them up, they have no weight to them. Yeah. And this hit me the hardest during this sequence when they're robbing this carriage. And they're loading the gold onto the boats. And they have, volume-wise, I would say enough to fill this whole car up to here with golds, just in bags. Mm-hmm. And they show the boat in the water, and it's just sitting there like it's got just the 3 people in it. Like, it is not weighed down, there's no weight. They didn't even try to make the gold look heavy. Like, Some movies will have someone hit someone with a bag of gold because their gold is fucking heavy.
Yeah.
This one is just like, oh, they're just stealing it. They're just taking all the bags of stuff. Like, oh, they're gonna get away. It's gonna be great.
I'm just gonna say I'm really glad you're on this one because I would not have had this much to say about it.
Oh, this was so bad. It was so aggressively bad.
I think I would have run out of stuff to say like 20 minutes ago.
And then they go, and the sheriff is pissed off, and he walks in the church, and they capture Robin because Robin gets PTSD and decides to stand up in the middle of a battle where everyone's looking to kill him, and no one shoots him.
Yep.
But he stands up and he's like, "Stop fighting! We gotta stop fighting! Who you want is me!"
It's like, what's that South Park joke when they had Osama bin Laden like team up to stop the Jersey Shore people?
I didn't see that episode.
Yeah, that's an episode that exists.
Oh god, I need to see
To
that.
stop Jersey, they team up with Osama bin Laden, and then Osama bin Laden comes in later. You get like a Medal of Achievement or something like that, and then somebody shoots him, and then as he's getting his award, and they just go, "We got him! We got him!"
Oh. But yeah, so Robin Hood gets captured because he has straight up PTSD. They do flashbacks to the war. I don't know why he gets PTSD at this specific moment. It doesn't make sense.
Oh,
because
that's the part that doesn't make sense. That's well established.
No, this was where I drew the line in terms of the logic of the film. But
where didn't you draw the line? It's been like an hour we've been talking, and 90 minutes like pointing out everything that doesn't make sense.
That's the joke.
Okay. I'm tired. All right.
Yeah, no.
This is like the fourth movie I've seen in 4 days.
Hang on. Okay, so he gets taken in, and somehow Jamie Foxx has escaped his cell, and he's one of the guards, and he happens to be one of the guards who, helps take Robin in. And he shoots the other two guards, and they string up the Sheriff of Nottingham by his neck, and shoot the cord that's holding the rope, and he gets pulled up and hung in the middle of the church, which is admittedly a decent shot. And it's interesting what they're able to put into PG-13 movies these days. With technicalities like
we can't show. God forbid we show somebody thrown up.
Yeah, God forbid someone puking.
Blood coming out of a.
But we're gonna talk about the Sheriff of Nottingham being fucking raped with a broom when he was a kid. And it's kind of ambiguous because you feel like they might be talking about being beaten by the broomsticks.
Yeah.
But he seems awfully more traumatized by it, and then when it's brought up later by Robin Hood, it doesn't seem to be like in a beating reference. Like it is inferred that Robin Hood taunts his enemy by bringing up his childhood raping.
I have nothing to say to that.
Yeah, that's this movie. But yeah, so that happens, and they go out. And during the battle, Marion and Robin Hood kiss because Robin Hood's been shot, and he has an arrow in his chest, and she tells him to look away while he pulls it out, and he looks her in the eye and goes, "Never." And this was the moment where I out loud just went, ugh, in the movie.
Meanwhile, Harvey Dent is watching this, apparently.
And
as his face is getting burnt.
Yeah, Will sees this, and I guess something happens that he gets like
knocked over. He's
knocked over.
Going, Rachel,
and he drops the fucking grenade, the lit Molotov he's holding, falls, and I don't know why he's laying there so long, getting his face burned off.
Yeah,
it's not like he's tied up like Harvey Dent was, but he gets half his face burned off. So I guess he's Harvey Dent Two-Face. And then she pulls the arrow out in that moment. Yeah, it's fine. But so they leave, and they get to the conclusion of the movie where everyone makes the getaway into the woods, and I guess they become his band of merry men and women, I would hope, because there were women who were part of the fighting back thing, but you couldn't really tell because everyone had hoods over their faces during the final actual fight, because there might have been actual, like, women in that fighting. We don't know. But merry men and women of Nottingham, and there were also children though, so I don't know where they went.
I didn't even see. I guess this is around the point I just checked out so hard.
This movie doesn't give a fuck. Like it's and they get away into the woods, and there's Friar Tuck who does the same fucking gag with John about his fucking name.
because that needed a callback.
And
then it ends with...
And then Harvey Dent is being appointed as the new sheriff of Nottingham.
And it's like, oh, a sequel, baby!
Yeah.
And like, you're not getting a fucking sequel.
And his face burn is really bad makeup. It is not good makeup, even a little bit. But yeah, and then there's a sequel that's gonna try to be made.
This movie is not gonna get a sequel.
How much has it made? Do you know?
Not enough.
I'm looking it up. Here, you talk for a second. I'm looking up the box office.
All right. I mean, like,
I'm shouting myself raw at this point.
I don't even know what I could say that you haven't already said. I mean, it makes no goddamn sense. It is such a blatant ripoff of Batman Begins. I mean, the actor, like, Taron Egerton and I forget the bad guy do the best they possibly can with what they're given.
Oh wait,
Jamie Foxx is just there to have fun.
Oh, okay. Here, take this. For example, this is the coat the Sheriff of Nottingham is wearing.
He looks like he just came off the set of Rogue One.
It's fucking like this. Oh,
He's saying over the rebels like.
Yeah,
here's be back.
Here's Robin Hood and Little John in their coats. Those are not poor people coats. Like, and again, blue dye. Oh yeah, and here's the modern warfare flak jacket shit. Like, he's walking around with this arrow with this bow cocked. Like, this takes a lot of strength to hold. Like, back and oh, I'm upset.
I can tell.
Robin Hood, 2018.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's if you've seen the trailer and you think, hey, it looks like King Arthur, you're right. it's I don't know what you guys fucking expected from this. That's what it like boils down to. Like, how much did it make? It had a $90 million budget, and so far it has worldwide made $23 million. Yeah, this isn't getting a sequel. This is not getting a sequel.
No.
I mean, the mistake this movie made was releasing the same weekend that Wreck-It Ralph 2 came out.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I don't think they're much of a fucking overlapping audience.
I'm saying, if you're gonna pick one, are you gonna pick the Chicky Looking Robin Hood movie, or are you gonna pick Wreck-It Ralph 2, which I didn't really like that much, but it's better than this.
Oh.
Or Creed 2. Go watch fucking Creed 2 over this shit.
Was it decent?
I liked Creed 2.
Oh no, Leonardo DiCaprio produced this.
Leo.
Leo,
no.
Oh, you're gonna learn better. You're gonna learn your lesson, Leo.
No.
You're gonna learn. All right. This was an hour and 45 minutes. It felt a lot longer.
I feel like we've been talking for as long as the movie went on.
Perhaps. We got out around 4. This review is only like an hour.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Feels like it's been a lot longer.
On that note, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. Trailers, escape room. Who fucking cares? This movie is ass.
We don't need to talk about trailers. This video's already gone for an hour.
This movie is ass. It's fucking. It's some hilarious ass.
Like, and I know you and I well enough that we just get an argument on Aquaman for a good chunk of time. So.
I don't care, man. I don't care. Justice League got fucked. I think it would have been really good. I think it would have set up some cool shit, and I think that Aquaman has the potential to be a lot of fun at the very least.
That second statement I'll agree with.
All right. I'm down with James Wan. I love that guy.
Yeah. I like him. I haven't seen much of filmography.
He doesn't make like high quality films, but he makes good fucking solid entertainment.
Yeah, so like,
and I'm down with that.
Yeah, if it's an entertainment movie, I'll take it. I mean, DC needs a couple wins.
Yeah,
I mean, like Wonder Woman was good. Or like that one.
Wonder Woman was decent.
I liked it better than the other stuff they made.
Wonder Woman was like... It was like Captain America, but better. The first one.
Nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned.
That's fine, but it felt very by the beats. And also it would have been a much better movie without the last fucking huge fight.
I do agree on that.
It could have actually made a statement about, darkness in the hearts of man. And war not being something you can fight as easily as, killing some supernatural being. Like, it had some really great philosophical points it built up to the whole movie. But in the last part, they're like, nope, big Zack Snyder fucking action sequence. Fuck you.
Yeah, we agree. On that note, we agree.
And then, she was the weapon all along. Like, yeah, okay, fine. And I'm looking forward to the second one, though. I think that a lot of movies like that tend to hit their stride in the second film. Even Captain America did. Yep. yeah, as far as DC stuff goes, I still rate Ultimate Edition of BVS a solid 8. I love that movie. I've seen that movie 3 times.
So vibe, not because I wanted to.
I know. Suicide Squad is...
I know Movie Bob is a really great takedown of BVS.
Ooh.
Have you watched that?
Who?
Movie Bob?
Movie? No.
Remember that video I showed you about the Luke
Oh, yeah,
Skywalker
okay,
thing?
okay,
That
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He made like a 3-hour takedown of Batman vs Superman.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm not going to watch that. I'm cool. I like enjoying it for what little I can as it is. But it's the fact that there was a larger vision in mind that I was interested in seeing, and Joss Whedon fucked that up.
I don't blame Josh Whedon. I think he came on to a broken horse.
Well, the studio fucked him up too.
That I agree. Like,
So it's not good
like,
science.
honestly, like, if we're gonna blame anyone for this, like Zack Snyder aside, it's WB.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can't take it, regardless of whether or not you think Zack Snyder was doing a good job, it's the fact that you should let an artist at least complete his work. Mm-hmm. And when you take it out of his hands and give it to another person, and then take that product and give it to other people to tweak and edit and color correct to what they think,
I mean, like,
more...
I think Josh Whedon did the best he could with what he had.
He Joss Whedon did.
Yeah.
He
like, I was like, I'm not saying I'm not saying what happened was good, because I hated Justice League 2. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think anyone at that point could have saved it.
I think the tipping point for Joss Whedon into no longer cares or knows what he's doing is just given projects and completes them with his base level of very, very sufficient competency. Mm-hmm. is Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is a very, very good example for how Joss Whedon can finish a movie with what he's told to do and make it somewhat entertaining, but cannot fix the broken pieces he's given.
Yeah, because I know Josh Whedon had to fight the studio a lot on that movie.
Yeah, I know, and the studio won.
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean, like the best part of the movie is the one he fought is like the one he had to fight the hardest to keep, which was the farm scene. Yeah.
So, So I think Justice League, the same thing happened to it.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
I agree.
Aquaman looks like fun.
It could be.
Wonder Woman 2 looks good.
Yeah.
And Shazam looks like a good time.
Shazam looks like a breath of fresh fucking air.
I'm so looking forward to Shazam.
That the DCEU really needs.
Yeah.
So like that, I'm actually really looking forward to Shazam.
Yeah. So honestly, DCEU could, I mean, taken away from Zack Snyder, while I am a Zack Snyder fan on a certain level, taken away from him, I think that they might be more willing to let actual directors like do what they're trying to do. Yeah. Like James Wan, at the very least, made Fast 7.
Yeah, which was a lot of fun.
Not just that, it is one of the top grossing movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's like seriously number 2 or 3. It's up there. I think it's only beaten by Avengers and Avatar.
I could have sworn some movies have passed that since then.
It's maybe, but it made a fuckload of money.
Like, didn't The Last Jedi...
Did it?
I think it might have.
Oh, I hope so. I'm a fan of that movie.
I like that one too. You mean Solo didn't succeed those expectations?
I had fun with Solo.
Yeah, I know I really liked Solo, but that one did not make a lot of money.
No, it also shit on a lot of canon in a way that I didn't enjoy. But at the same time, I think that and they did the smart thing and picked up James Gunn.
Yeah, they did.
No, so the next Suicide Squad movie,
it's gonna be that might actually be good.
Yeah, instead of David Ayer, a guy who makes really serious fucking movies, who hasn't made a good movie since Fury.
I
mean, he's only made 2 movies since Fury.
They both suck. Well, both
of them were horrifically bad.
Yeah, like
Bright. No, I do include Bright. Yeah, okay. What's the other one? There's Bright and Suicide Squad.
I thought he did more than that, but I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, 2 astonishingly bad films.
Yeah.
James Gunn directing the next Suicide Squad movie.
I'm actually totally down
excited.
For that. Yeah. Like, and I will even give them this credit. I am very curious about the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie.
Yeah, I think that's going to be good. I don't think Joaquin Phoenix has failed us in anything, and I don't think he would take on a project unless it had some merit.
Yeah,
because he's one of those fucking pompous actors who will not fucking take a job unless he wants to do it.
And that's kind of why I see it too, because I love Joaquin Phoenix, and everyone's like, all right, if he's got cast, like, okay, I'm curious.
Yeah, I have faith in Joaquin Phoenix.
So like I've seen that based on like the screenshots and stuff, it seems like it looks like he's definitely getting into it, so that could be good.
Yeah. So anyway,
let's wrap this up.
We got our DC
rant on.
talk for the
One
video
day
out of the
I
way.
want to do a debate show when when things really take off and I actually quit one of my jobs.
Yeah.
I would love to do a debate show with like on a stage and like on a set and stuff. That'd be a lot of fun. But anyway, so I think it's all. Do you have any more to say about Robin Hood?
Do we have to?
No.
Okay.
So I think we actually cleared out majority of the movies I had to go see. I'm gonna meet with. I gotta charge my camera, and I'm gonna meet up with Sarah to go talk about Fantastic Beasts 2.
I would really I would have preferred to see Widows, I think, but we should see that.
Widows, I got still there this week. That and Green Book, I want to go see.
Oh, Green Book looks good.
Yeah, and then I know Superman the movie is coming back in the theaters this week, so I want to go watch that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Speaking of DC,
right. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can see Widows on my own at some point. If you want to go see Widows on your own at some point,
and let's meet up.
then we can try to meet up.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But
All right.
yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming out this long.
This movie is astonishingly bad on every conceivable front, to the point where you will be laughing at everything but the jokes.
I don't even know if to make my top 10 worst list when the time comes.
I don't think that's the thing. It wasn't like Exodus.
No, God,
where we
no.
were just sitting there
We were
like
miserable for 2 hours.
we were. Oh God! Every now and then I go back and look at that video just to see how upset we are.
I repressed that memory a long time
Yeah, it's
ago.
bad. It's really bad. Dude, the suffering in our eyes is tangible.
I know it's the case where every time I talk about the movie, my mom gets mad at me because I'm like, God is a tiny tangerine child, and she gets mad at me like, I'm not fucking kidding. That's not me being a smartass. That's the movie.
Yeah, no, it was. But yeah, so this movie was enjoyable, at least. It is entertainingly bad.
Yeah.
I was laughing the whole way through. At the end, I was still like, how long is this fucking movie? But I was laughing the whole time. I had a good time.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're looking for in a movie, then totally give this a shot, because it's fucking awful.
Okay, guys. Now I gotta wrap this up so I have time to charge my camera before I meet up with Sarah.
All right.
And so thank you guys for watching. See you.
Enjoy.
See you later tonight.